And now we'd like to share with you our final Trailblazer story. And this is another iconic, really legendary brand as well and corporation, and that is Amtrak. So let's take a look at the Amtrak story.
The grandeur of the prairies, the canyons, the national parks, you can see it all from the train. We want to make sure that our customer experience is top-notch, that we're world-class. It's an incredible responsibility to me to make sure that that trip goes well. We do create memories on a daily basis. I wasn't here during the steam era, but I saw all the remnants of the infrastructure.
Things have changed, industry has changed. We have gone from mainframes to client server to cloud to mobile.
When I first came to Amtrak, we had over 400 applications. Our time was spent maintaining them and not doing anything to move the ball forward.
We want to consolidate our applications so that we reduce the total cost of ownership. So that's our digital dilemma. How do we do it faster, cheaper, better?
And that's where Salesforce came into Amtrak. We have focused on reusing the building block capabilities of Salesforce to drive rapid time to market. It's frankly been at the center of the whole transformation going on at Amtrak.
Amtrak is an iconic brand. Customers ride our trains every day. The experience they have needs to really match up to the digital age.
We're dialed in on the metrics of our business and what makes a difference, and using technology to take us there and beyond where we thought we could go.
We kept doubling down on what's kept the company running, yet we kept innovating at the edge to drive outcomes for the lines of business across Amtrak.
The TOPS app has literally allowed us to double our efficiency with our workforce.
How can I make the life of the conductor, the engineer, the people who are in the train cars happy and productive?
Salesforce allows our personnel who are responsible for train servicing to be out in the field where they need to be.
When you think about this, this is a hotel on wheels. Our employees are now empowered to make sure that that train turns on time. This is the first time in my time at Amtrak that I have seen somebody be excited about a tool to enable them to do their job better, smarter, faster.
We are not a technology company. We should be riding on the innovation curve of large tech companies like Salesforce and focusing on what's unique, which makes us different. So the possibilities are limitless.
It's clear to me that our option, our main intent, is to be the best. And if that means that we're blazing a trail, then I want to be there to help blaze that trail.
Wow. Now that is trailblazing at scale and reinventing a whole mode of transportation. Now let's hear a little bit more. We've got the Cto of Amtrak here. I'm honored to welcome Savan Chapatny to the stage. Talk a little bit more about what's happening at Amtrak. Savan, welcome.
Thank you.
So we're thrilled and honored to have you here with us today on the World Tour. And tell us a little bit, just in your, but first of all, how many employees, Amtrak, how many employees do you have?
Tony, Amtrak has 20,000 plus employees. That includes a big swathe of unionized workforce and what we call as non-agreement employees. So it makes us unique in terms of how we do business every day.
Well, it's truly, truly at scale. And it affects the lives of so many of us here in the room and across the nation. Tell us, in your view, what does it mean, at Amtrak? What does it mean to be a trailblazer?
So, Tony, this is personally my third year at Amtrak. Amtrak is an iconic brand, like we mentioned in the video. And if I take a step back, we are in the mission of connecting the length and breadth of this big, beautiful country of ours and even few Canadian provinces, moving people in a safe, reliable, and timely manner today and every day. So from that lens, I have three major actors who are interacting with Amtrak: my customers, which is all of us, hopefully, my employees, and my partners. So when I think about being a trailblazer and how we can move Amtrak forward, the key thing in our mind is how do we take this swathe of technologies we are talking about, right? You talked about cloud, data, you talk about AI. I would add to that quantum computing. I would add to that artificial, augmented reality, and stitch it all together to make it simple so that ultimately my customers, my partners, and my employees have compelling, immersive experiences which work for them, which is intuitive, which just happens, right? Technology should make business outcomes simple, repetitive, and successful. So at the end of the day, I would consider, and we would consider, that we have been a successful trailblazer if each one of us has become a net promoter for Amtrak, the corporation, and the brand, right? And that helps us grow our business and drive the mission, which is a very honored mission, if I think about it in the big picture.
Well, that's truly, truly inspiring. And maybe just share a little bit more about how the platform plays a role in that vision.
So Salesforce, Tony, has been quite pervasive at Amtrak, right? So if I just go by the product speak, we have heard a lot about it. We have the Service Cloud, we have Marketing Cloud, and we have the core Salesforce platform, right? But at the highest level, there are 4 major areas where we are driving Salesforce to enable this vision I talked about. Number 1, it's all about employee productivity and connected workforce, right? How do you stitch together and bring this massive and diverse workforce across the country of ours together? Number 2, we are using Salesforce in terms of business process simplification, consolidation, and what I would call as digitization. Number 3, Salesforce is at the heart of what I would call as customer service, unified case management, and the whole ability for customer listening, feedback, and rinse and repeat, right? Yeah. And last but not the least, we are using Marketing Cloud for what I would call as upsell, cross-sell, social listening, and beyond. So if you think through this whole gamut, it pretty much stretches across major pillars of Salesforce, and it's been quite a journey which we have been on.
Well, that's a really compelling and a comprehensive vision, Sivan. I want to thank you and thank you and the 24,000 employees of Amtrak on our behalf. And we're going to have Sean Alpert come out and bring this in our final demo and bring that to life just a little bit more. Sivan, thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
All aboard! No, we practiced that a bunch. So, thanks, Tony. I want to start out today's story by telling you a secret. I love Amtrak. I live in Arlington, and I often take the train between DC and New York for work. I find that there's something so simple, so hassle-free, so special about being able to board the train at Union Station, watch the American landscape go by for a little while, and then arrive right in the heart of New York City in only a few short hours. I can do work on the free Wi-Fi, or I can just relax, which is more than I can say for the poor souls who are stuck in 95 traffic all the way up. Now, how does Amtrak create this customer experience? Well, Amtrak serves over 85,000 passengers from 500 stations across 46 states. Amtrak is blazing a trail for these passengers by transforming the way that it engages with its employees. And an employee engagement starts with collaboration. This is the magic of Quip. Quip is Salesforce's newest collaboration tool. Quip combines docs, task lists, chat, and spreadsheets all into one application, making teamwork fast and easy. And teamwork is especially important at Amtrak, where over 60% of its 24,000 employees are working remotely. Now, a remote workforce wasn't the only thing that Amtrak was trying to solve for. As ridership for Amtrak exploded in the 80s and 90s, Amtrak built out a bunch of apps to help support this growing ridership. Amtrak knew that it needed to consolidate these multiple legacy applications into one place, and they turned to the Salesforce platform to help them do just that. Now, the vision for the Salesforce platform is to keep the simple things simple and to make the hard things possible. This means it contains functionality all the way from drag and drop no-code tools to tools that help you customize with code. This means that Amtrak can focus on what it does best, and that's connecting its passengers and its employees. This is what makes the Salesforce platform the world's #1 platform as a service. It has applications that are right out of the box. As well, you can always build, customize, and deploy your own. Now, it has innovation that's built right in, everything from Lightning all the way to Einstein with AI built right in. Well, let's take a look at how Amtrak is using Salesforce by showing you a live demo. So today, we are going to tell the story of a day in the life of a remote worker named Zach. Now, Zach is a train yard supervisor right here in Washington, D.C. at Union Station. Now, before Salesforce, Zach was using a lot of manual processes, disconnected applications, and frankly, a lot of paperwork that was on clipboards and in folders. Well, since Amtrak has rolled out Salesforce, Zach now has everything that he needs to do his job more effectively and efficiently all in one place. Now, Zach is going to start his day in the Amtrak My Productivity Workspace. This is a single personalized application that has everything that he needs to do his job. Right in the front there, we have Chatter, which is real-time collaboration between his colleagues at other stations, as well as with the corporate office. On the right, we can see his activities and tasks and tickets, and these are always up to date, and that takes care of all of those handwritten notes that he had sitting on his clipboard. Beneath there, we see the app launcher. Now, this is a single place where he can access all the tools and applications he needs without having to switch back and forth between different systems all day long. We can see apps like the org chart, which tell him where his colleagues are sitting, the station audit app, which tells him an actionable checklist, so when he does his station audits. As well, he has his turnover operations solution app, or TOPS app, which we heard a bit about in the film. Let's take a closer look at that TOPS app. As a train yard supervisor, Zach oversees turnover operations. This means that he and his team are responsible for things like food and comfort and the cleanliness of the train. Now, Zach can keep track of all of the tasks for turnover, things like making sure the cafe car is stocked with snacks and coffee, and making sure that all of the seats are ready for the next batch of passengers. So Zach can communicate all of the status of these tasks. He can escalate any issues that he finds, or he can see analytics that display key metrics to help keep his team on track. Pun intended. So at the top here, we can see, you like that one? At the top here, we can see a chart that tracks all of the trains and how busy they've been for the last few months, as well as how busy they're projected to be. It looks like April is going to be a pretty busy month. And that's probably because of all the passengers who are coming into town because of the Cherry Blossom Festival. Now, the great thing about Salesforce Analytics is that all of the data is interactive. So when he clicks on a particular train, everything on this dashboard is going to update. This makes finding insights for him and his team and his customers much easier. Zach notices something interesting in the lower left-hand corner here, the food consumption versus inventory chart. It looks like in April, supply may not meet demand for snacks. Well, how is this going to affect customer satisfaction? Salesforce predicts that the CSAT score for the month of April is going to be a 77, and it explains the factors behind that prediction. It looks like our snack inventory problem is contributing to the score in a highly negative way. And that makes sense, right? Riding the rails on an empty stomach is never a fun experience. So how can Zach improve this? Well, Salesforce has done the analysis for him, and it suggests that by changing some of the inventory from breakfast over to snacks, it can boost the CSAT score up to a 95. Now, this is great news. He's done the analysis for him. It suggests what to do. Now, right here from the dashboard, Zach can share this insight. He can have a note over to the inventory team to make sure that they have enough snacks for the busy month ahead. This was a great way to be able to escalate an issue, to get the right information to the right people, and to make sure that customer satisfaction is top of mind. So far, we've seen Zach handle some of his own cases as well as some of the duties of the rest of his team. But something else that's really important to Amtrak is its CEO accessibility to its remote workforce. And they built an app called the CEO Corner to manage that. So let's take a closer look at the CEO Corner. Now, built on Salesforce communities, the CEO Corner is an intranet to help the remote workforce communicate with the executive employees at Amtrak. This is a one-stop shop for them to get all the news and headlines that they need to stay up to date. A community like this is built with clicks, not code. Let's see what the admin view of this community looks like. So here in Community Builder, an admin has all of the tools for styling, as well as all the standard and custom Lightning components that can be added to any Salesforce page. Now, let's say that the CEO of Amtrak wants to make himself accessible to the rest of the employees at Amtrak. Well, an admin can simply drag and drop the Ask component onto the screen, and once the admin clicks Publish, boom, the page is live immediately. Now the CEO can take questions from around the company, he can answer them, he can have them show up on this page for full transparency. Now you'll notice something. There was no complex coding, there was no waiting for weeks for someone else to take care of this task for him. Total empowerment. It's just that simple. Now, let's go back to our friend Zach, who is on his way home. He's checking his email on his phone, and he sees a new notification come in. Right from his mobile phone, he's going to click right through to the CEO corner and read the announcements on the Salesforce mobile app. Whoa, check it out. Do you remember when Zach actually made that suggestion about the snack inventory? Well, the CEO has given him a nice shout out on this particular newsletter, and now Zach feels a great sense of respect and empowerment, and he understands how his team is contributing to the greater workforce at Amtrak. And this is how Salesforce is partnering with Amtrak to create a truly connected workforce. Everyone at Amtrak, from the train yard supervisors all the way up to the CEO, are now having the tools that they're excited to use. They have access to real-time information, and they're able to connect with one another all across the nation, anywhere, anytime. Now, if you want to learn more about this particular demo, the apps that were shown, please text Amtrak to the number that you see on the screen for the access to the free trail mix. And one last thing, someone in this room or online is going to win a free rail pass on Amtrak. So please, go to this URL. I know, I'm very excited. I'm upset that I can't win this. Please go to this URL and for a chance to win. If you are a winner, please come up to the demo booth right after the keynote to claim your prize. And for those of you who are watching online, you have a chance to win as well. Thank you very much. And Tony, back to you.
Well, that is a real fourth industrial revolution customer experience. So really, really impressive. You know, congratulations to those 24,000 employees of Amtrak. You know, thank you for your attention and your engagement and your participation in this keynote. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed putting it together and putting it on for you. Thank you for sharing this time with us. And the day's not over. We've got an incredible day set up for you. We've got over 70 sessions, these amazing breakout sessions, and a chance to get engaged and get involved with McFarland Middle School. And so we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We're super grateful for the time that you've invested with us, and we look forward to hearing your feedback about how you thought this went so that next time we're together it can be even better. You know, thank you very much on behalf of Salesforce.